Walt Disney's Disneyland.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are.
Each week as you enter this timeless land, one of these many worlds will open to you. Frontierland. Tall tales and true from the legendary past. Tomorrowland. Promise of things to come. Adventureland. The wonder world of nature's own realm. Fantasyland. The happiest kingdom of them all. Presenting this week from Fantasyland, where do the stories come from? Now, your host, Walt Disney.
Hobbies are another fertile field for cartoon ideas. Millions of people enjoy various hobbies, and among the largest of these groups are the model railroad enthusiasts. In the United States alone, there are about 6 million people who build and operate these scale model railroads. And here at the studio, there's several of us who haven't escaped the bug. One of our key animators, Ollie Johnston, is one of these backyard hobbyists. After sitting at the drawing board all day, Ollie finds great relaxation on weekends gathering the fellow hobbyists in the backyard of his Flint Ridge home. Ollie estimates that it took over 4,000 hours to build his model steam engine, patterned after the Baltimore and Ohio. Great pride is taken in the fact that every little part is built to perfect scale, even the coal shovel. This model steam engine has to have the same care and upkeep as its big brother. These fellows take their hobby pretty seriously, even to dressing the part. Except for the size of the train, you might think you were in a real railroad yard. Not only is everything kept in perfect scale, but also correct hand signals are given while operating the train. But before the boys can get down to serious business, they first have to pacify their families with a ride. Kids and grown-ups alike seem to be fascinated with model railroads. All aboard? And now, back at the depot, the board of directors holds a serious confab, comparing notes and exchanging ideas on their various models. And not to be outdone by their families, the board takes a tour of inspection. Another of our gang, Ward Kimball, who directs our Tomorrowland television series, started out building small train models, but then went a step further with the railroad hobby. Ward heard that a narrow-gauge, life-size locomotive that had seen better days was to be junked for scrap metal. Ward saved her life and had the engine shipped to his home in California. Between 1881 and 1939, this old Baldwin locomotive proudly hauled passengers on the Nevada Central Railroad between Battle Mountain and Austin, Nevada, a distance of 100 miles. But now, in the warmth of Ward's backyard orange grove, she was to spend her old age happily running back and forth on 900 feet of track. With the help of friends, the engine was unloaded for restoration to its former glory. Many hours were spent cleaning, polishing, and getting it into running order. In the meantime, others were busy laying the track. At last, after 2 years of facelifting, the Emma Nevada was steamed up and ready for her second first run on the Grizzly Flats Railroad. Friends celebrated the day and arrived in costumes befitting the occasion. It was an exciting day for Ward Kimball and his friends as the Emma Nevada made her first trip down past the train depot and out into the wilderness of the orange grove. I think most everyone is fascinated by trains, including myself. When the model train bug hit me, I decided my locomotive would be modeled after a Central Pacific locomotive that was built in Sacramento in the year 1872. Its old-time diamond stack intrigued me. It was built to a scale of 1.5 inches to the foot. After the track layout had been worked out on paper, 3 months were spent excavating my backyard to fit the plan of the layout. By careful planning on blueprints, we were able to lay about 2,600 feet of track. Tunnels and trestles were used in a practical way to fit the terrain of the yard, but they also added to the scenic beauty of the layout. Of course, the hardest part of the job was convincing my wife that the flower beds had to go. But with the winning of the right-of-way, the job continued. The tracks were laid on perfect scale redwood ties over a 2-inch layer of crushed rock ballast. The rail spikes were dipped in rosin to hold better in the redwood ties. Then the ballast was tamped between the ties with the help of a crew that had actually had experience laying track for a big railroad. While waiting for the locomotive to be completed, my impatience got the best of me. I decided to take a trial run without it. I didn't know I had company. My daughters and friends were on hand with their reaction. Dad's at it again. Many of the castings and fittings of the locomotive were machined in the studio machine shop and assembled there before delivery to the backyard layout. The locomotive and tender weigh about 500 pounds, and this amazing little boiler generates enough steam to haul about 2 tons. With the arrival of the locomotive, it made it easier to complete the laying of the track. It was a big help to haul ballast in the gondolas. I might point out again how important it is to the railroad hobbyist that everything is built to perfect scale. We had a visitor drop in one Sunday from the 20,000 League set. And just like the rest of us, Kirk Douglas soon had the bug himself. After a little coaching, Kirk was right at home as one of my guest engineers. The fascination of model trains doesn't stop with the layman. Several of my friends who have actually been engineers on the big trains like to spend their Sundays hauling kids around on the little ones. With so many of us interested in model trains, it wasn't too much of a surprise when our story department came up with a cartoon idea about this hobby. Let's see what happened.